This meeting was held under the strategic guidance of the two presidents. The two sides agreed in principle on the framework of measures of implementing the common understandings reached between the two presidents in their June 5th conversation and on enhancing the outcomes of the Geneva meeting. The two sides achieved new progress in addressing the concerns on economic and trade issues, each other's concerns. China stays committed to its commitment. We always honor our commitments. Since we've reached common understandings, the two sides need to follow them. We hope that the U.S. can work with China to implement the common understandings reached between the two presidents in their phone conversation.
Truth Social post yesterday, President Trump said that, quote, "Our deal with China is done." And as part of that post, he said that magnets and any necessary rare earths will be supplied by China. He also claimed that Chinese goods would face tariffs of 55%, with American goods facing only 10%. Are you able to confirm any of the details in that post? And as far as you are concerned, does that accurately represent any deal that's been done between the US and China? Thank you.
In the afternoon of yesterday, China has released information on the first meeting of China-US Economic and Trade Consultation Mechanism, which you may refer to. Let me stress that this meeting was held under the strategic guidance of the two presidents. The two sides agreed in principle on the framework of measures of implementing the common understandings reached between the two presidents in their June 5th conversation and on enhancing the outcomes of the Geneva meeting. The two sides achieved new progress in addressing the concerns on economic and trade issues, each other's concerns. China stays committed to its commitment. We always honor our commitments. Since we've reached common understandings, the two sides need to follow them. We hope that the U.S. can work with China to implement the common understandings reached between the two presidents in their phone conversation, give full play to the mechanism of China-U.S. economic and trade consultation through communication, further enhance common understanding, decrease misunderstanding, and enhance cooperation. Next one, please.
The paper will note that for quite some time, traveling in China while live streaming has kept trending among foreign tourists, and Chinese tours have gained huge fans overseas. Foreign commentators say that Chinese technology, gaming, and culture have taken the world by storm, which makes the country cooler and burnishes its image overseas. The latest polls show that in recent 1+ year, favorable opinions of China have been on the rise. What's China's comment? From traveling to China wherever they want and to buying in China whatever they want, from using DeepSeek to enjoying popular Chinese toys, films, and TV series, more and more foreign friends come to China and learn about the country. They get rid of the information cocoon and find an echo with the Chinese people. This fully shows that the pursuit of well-being and a better life knows no border, which is shared by all ethnic groups, and it cannot be hindered by any force. More and more people get to know a truer and more multidimensional China in an all-round way. This is thanks to China's determined commitment to advancing high-standard opening up, keeping ease in cross-border travel, pursuing high-quality development, and rapidly promoting new quality productive forces and innovation-driven development. More importantly, this is a credit to China's consistent role as a force of stability and certainty in a turbulent, changing world, and its effort to fuel the world's development, the Chinese modernization. We will open wider, innovate in more areas, and deepen cooperation to share with the rest of the world more opportunities and benefits, and give people worldwide more access to a cooler and cooler China.
China deal, we wanted clarification. We had to have clarification. A little bumpy up here. We had to have clarification, and that's what we're really having the meeting about. We had a very good talk. I talked to President Xi for, I guess, more than 2 hours. We had a very good talk. It's a complicated deal, but it's a deal that's bring us a lot of money and a lot of everything else, and we get along very well with President Xi and with China right now.
Magnets?
Say it what?
Did President Xi agree to restart the flow of rare earth minerals and magnets?
Yes. We had a very good conversation with President Xi a little while ago, just before your arrival. In fact, we just hung up and they said, "You're here." I said, "That's pretty good." Two great leaders of the world in a very short period of time. We had a very good talk, and we've straightened out any complexity. It's very complex stuff, and we straightened it out. The agreement was we're going to have Scott and Howard and Jameson will be going and meeting with their top people and continue it forward. But no, I think we have everything. I think we're in very good shape with China and the trade deal. We have a deal with China, as you know, but we were straightening out some of the points, having to do mostly with rare earth, magnets, and some other things.
So those reduced trade tariff rates, they remain in effect?
Yeah, we have the deal. I mean, we've had a deal. We announced the deal, and we'll be, I guess you could say, I wouldn't even say finalizing it up, Scott. I would say we have a deal, and we're going to just make sure that everybody understands what the deal is. Okay? We had a really good conversation. By the way, he invited me to China, and I invited him here. We've both accepted. So I'll be going there with the First Lady at a certain point, and he'll be coming here, hopefully, with the First Lady of China.
Mr. President, what do you expect from Germany?
Go ahead, please.
Did you talk about the Chinese students? Are you allowing them to come to the U.S.?
You know, Chinese students are coming. No problem.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, "Please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now." And I said, "Okay, I'll give you till June." I actually asked them, I said, "What's the date?" Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, "We'll meet anytime you want." And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me. He said, "You got the hottest we have the hottest country in the world right now." 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, you know, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question.
There are no winners in tariff wars or trade wars. Bullying or hegemonism only leads to self-isolation. China will work with LAC countries to implement the Global Development Initiative. We will resolutely uphold the multilateral trading system, ensure stable, unimpeded global industrial and supply chains, and promote an international environment of openness and cooperation. We should foster greater synergy between our development strategies, expand high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, and bolster cooperation in traditional areas such as infrastructure, agriculture and food, and energy and minerals. We should expand cooperation in emerging areas such as clean energy, 5G telecommunications, the digital economy, and artificial intelligence, and carry out the China-LAC Science and Technology Partnership. China will increase imports of quality products from LAC countries and encourage its enterprises to expand investment in the LAC region.